So today's subject of talk is whether you should work at a startup or at a big company as a software engineer. So I've had the chance to work for big companies, not FANG companies, but big companies that shall not be named. And I'm currently working at a startup. Although this will not affect my comparison, don't worry. I will first start with the big company. I have worked in two big companies as intern. I'm not sure if my experience would have been different as an actual employee, but anyway, let's dive in. At my first internship, it was actually my first job. Company X made me believe that I would be doing cool stuff and learning new tech. I ended up doing Excel sheets. Yep. However, it was well paid for a first job, so I didn't complain that much. Still complain, but not that much. Since I landed my first internship at a big company, it was easier for me to find another internship. They knew Company X and thought I did some serious stuff. The second place, it was more exciting because I actually coded. So at my second internship, I made sure that I wouldn't be doing Excel sheet or random stuff. I really wanted to code. So I ended up coding a UI in Python. I even refactored the algorithm to do meshing and finite element stuff, which was pretty fun. The thing I loved the most about that internship, it was that I would only see my supervisor once every 2 weeks. You heard me, once every 2 weeks. I didn't have stand-ups, no sprint planning or sprint reviews, nothing. Only meetings every 2 weeks. The funny thing is that we didn't even use Git, GitHub, or GitLab. Their system was so messy that I was never able to get access. They just ended up giving up. LOL. So, in terms of learning, I learned how to work independently, so I guess that was good. However, nobody looked at my code or verified or reviewed my stuff, which I didn't know at the time is crucial as a dev. So, the outcomes of my big company experience, they are really good for a CV, to be honest. Depending on their internal architecture, stuff can be messy and you might end up with bad manager who doesn't supervise or mentor you properly. And more importantly, nobody actually cares about you. At least that's how I felt. Now, startup. I started an internship in a robotic startup during the summer of 2020. First of all, I didn't think I would get picked because one, it's a startup, so they don't just pick random people. And two, I didn't have most of the skills they asked for. However, I think they saw that I was a hardworking person. So I started the internship and it was a completely different story. I had an actual mentor, I had stand ups, sprint plannings, and sprint reviews. The team was really small. Actually, I was the only intern. But with my manager and another colleague, we worked on the same project, let's say. So during my internship, I learned that I was a shitty programmer. Yeah, I didn't know anything about linting or documentation. It's one thing to make something work, it's another to make it clean. My mentor taught me and showed me so much stuff. It felt for a moment that he was watching me all the time. I learned how to make good merge requests and all the stuff you don't get to learn at school, or at least my school. During that internship, I had my own project, and since I was able to complete it, I was able to get hired as a full-time employee. Since I can say it was one of the best decisions of my life to randomly apply to that tech. Startups are great because you learn a bunch, not only on your field, but at other things too, such as project management, social skills, and let me just tell you, the opportunities of growth are infinite. Since the company is really small, it is not hard to grow. You also get to do business trips. Yes, you heard me. I got the chance to go to the USA to help deploy some software. Honestly, I didn't have to go, but my supervisor wanted me to have that experience, and I'm so grateful to have such mentors. However, it's not all pink. Since it's a startup, you will mostly have to learn a lot of things on top of what you actually need to accomplish your job. You will also have more responsibilities and will need to step out of your comfort zone. Unlike some big companies, you will not do repetitive work and you will need to be in sync with the new tech, read papers, and such. You might need to do extra hours to deliver to. So the outcomes. Startups gives you a lot of opportunities of growth. You get to learn a lot and get more responsibilities. You get to work with incredibly talented people because, again, startups don't just hire random people. So you get to learn from them. Pressure will be on too because the team is small, so you might have to do other things than just coding. You might need to read some papers, do some presentation, organize meetings, to sync up with other people, etc. Startup is a really dynamic place. So my advice are, I think for a first job, starting at a big company is great because it will give you some credibility and it looks nice on on your CV. Startups are often unknown companies, so having that in your CV might not make you stand out. After you've gained a bit of experience and confidence, I think going to a startup is a good place to grow your career. So it all comes down to your goals. Big companies might give you more money than startups, so if making a huge amount of cash money is your goal, I would suggest big company. If learning about new tech and being in a dynamic environment your thing, startups are the go. In a startups, I am always pushed to do things out of my comfort zone. In a big company, you don't really work on big project or have your own stuff when you start. Depending on where you are in your career and what your goals are, your choice will be different. There is no wrong or right. Well, I hope this video helped you guys a bit. If you like this video, please let me know so I can make another one about it. There's so much to say, but bye!